Hi, I'm Tim Bradner. Welcome to Capitol News. We're here today with Commissioner of Natural Resources, Corri Feige. Corri, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, Tim. Good to see you.
And of course, it's all remote and by Zoom, like everything else these days.
Yes, adapting to the new way of digital communications has not always been easy, but we're going to learn from it, and it'll make us better workers in the future.
Well, I hope so. Well, Corri, you run the DNR is a very interesting agency. I mean, your responsibilities run everything from state parks to forests to ag lands to just general land sales disposition. But one of the biggest responsibilities is the state's oil and gas program,
Correct.
leasing and royalties. And we've had a lot of things happen this spring with the lease sale in Anwar and our own state sale. I just want to get your sense of how things are going. With everybody's concerned about the drop in oil demand, oil prices. Do we have a future in petroleum?
Yeah. Well, I am an eternal optimist, but I will temper that by saying that after the price shock that hit us during the COVID pandemic, and for the first time ever seeing ANS crude go negative, bouncing back to where we are today at just about $57 a barrel for ANS is a pretty tremendous rebound. And I think what it demonstrates is that even through political uncertainty, with the change from a Trump administration to a Biden administration, and with the trajectory of oil prices that's really been sort of unknown, there's a lot of optimism in the industry. And I absolutely believe that we have a future for oil and gas. We can talk about energy transition, and in all of those conversations, oil and gas and petroleum products still play a very significant role moving forward all the way into 2060, 2080. It plays less of a role in power generation, and it transitions more to a manufacturing and a value added goods role. But I think all of that bodes well for Alaska. It bodes well for the future of the industry and what that energy means to the world.
Well, Corey, we've had a couple of lease sales, and the state's lease sale seemed to indicate that was held in early January. The state's annual area-wide lease sale seemed to indicate continuing interest by companies that were already there, had an
Absolutely.
opportunity. Uh,
Absolutely.
but then right next door, we had Anwar and the Anwar lease sale that had very uh, well, really not much of a turnout from industry. But really, is there anything wrong with the rocks at Anwar? How do you explain? I mean, the acreage is not that
Yeah.
much different than the state lands.
No, it's really not. And Tim, the 1002 acreage that was taken under the lease sale that BLM held on the 6th of January, all of the tracts that reside within the geologic area that's known to be highly prospective for oil and gas exploration and development, every single one of those tracts were taken under a successful bid. You saw the Alaska Industrial and Development Authority, ADA, step out and took all but two of those tracts. And the others went to Regenerate Alaska, which has leases immediately adjoining the tract that they took right over the boundary on the North Slope. And then you had a small speculator group called Kinnick Arm Services that took one tract kind of in the middle of all of that. And what's interesting to me is, it's been so politically charged, and there's been a ton of vitriol in the media and social media in particular, that I think once industry potentially saw that there were going to be other parties like ADA, and ADA, because of their position as a state entity, needed to make their participation known in advance. I think you changed the behavior and the trajectory possibly of that sale. I think that perhaps took some of the major players out of play simply because they knew that they wouldn't have to go and take that risk themselves and risk the media frenzy around that. So rocks are good, and all of that acreage will be held under a valid lease.
And I guess it'll be held for 10 years. So
That's
there's
correct.
yes,
Primary terms, 10 years.
really you could argue that what the state's done is help just buy time.
Well, and I think ADA is the right agency to have stepped forward to do that because their mandate is economic development. And if you look at their history since 67, that's exactly what they've done for the state from, the DeLong Mountain Corridor, which has been the road that services Red Dog, through the other projects and programs that they've done, investing in businesses and industry that employ Alaskans and help support the state's economy. I think they were the absolute right entity to do that.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Corey, is there any, I mean, Ada has not been in the oil leasing business before. It's been in the oil financing, infrastructure
Mhm.
financing. It's kind of a new area for them. But I was just trying to think, will they have to stand up a whole new group within Ada to handle the marketing of these leases?
You
Um,
know, I'm not sure that that will be required because they have marketing capability within them, within the existing organization. But I think more importantly, they're going to be looking for partners within industry to work with. And I think that that is how they're likely to approach this. Alan Weitzner, I'm sure, would be happy to chat about what their thoughts are on that. But they've got options available to them for attracting the best partners on the best acreage and really getting those leases into development through some of our best operators.
well, they've been very active in helping small operators on the Central North Slope and in Cook Inlet also.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
they have a track record.
They do. And I think they've got a good team there. I think, they'll reach out like any other independent and contract for the expertise that they need. And we'll see where that takes them. But they're excited about it. And I think they're going to do a very good job at assessing that acreage and moving to get it into development.
Great. Well, Corey, thank you. Thank you very much. And we hope to continue the dialogue.
Sure,
Good
my
luck.
pleasure. Thank you.